All right, we were out doing some teeth demos today and trying out some green teeth and giving some comparisons across machines and whatnot. But since I had both machines sitting here side by side and I have some pretty good knowledge of both of them at this point, I thought I would just maybe throw out some comparisons for folks. I don't have these lined up perfectly to each other, but they're very similar in length. I would say they're almost identical in length to one another. This is the track version of the SG40. There's also a rubber tire version. Do notice that this is substantially narrower. So this is, I believe, 29-inch width on this, where when you have this unit with the duals on there, I think it's, I don't want to give exact numbers. It's substantially wider. You can pull the duals to get it down to 35 inches to get through gate, but you're still a wider unit even with the duals off. So this Bandit has a 38 horsepower fuel injected Kohler, where the Vermeer has a 35 horsepower carbureted Briggs & Stratton. The cutter system on this, we've got belt drive that goes from the clutch down to the cutter wheel here. And on the Bandit, we have a very similar system to that, with a cross shaft going to the other side for the belt on this side here. This, I don't know if I mentioned, if I did, I apologize, but this is the track version. It also comes on a tire to be more, comparable to that Vermeer system. Control panel on this is in line for transport. So if you're walking it through a gate or something like that, you can see right where you're going. Sometimes this takes two hands to do, but if I can, this will go all the way this direction. It will also go all the way this direction, so that you could cut from either side, which is kind of a cool feature. Where on the Vermeer, you got standard station on it. So this does have smart sweep on it, which controls the sweep speed off of engine RPM. It does work well. I've run it plenty. I'm familiar with these machines, but some people like to be able to control their own sweep speed. On this unit, if the clutch is engaged, you can't do that. It also has operator presence on these handles, so you have to be touching these handles to have the clutch engaged. So the good safety feature, but sometimes people like to have a little bit different, visibility. On the Bandit, we have our cutter system is the switch just kind of like on the other unit, but we don't have the operator presence on this one. The other thing I was just talking about was the smart sweep, and this unit for your sweep, it's left and right, and it is all operator input. So if you go to cut too fast, too hard, you can bog the engine down and even create a stall scenario. But once you get used to it, you get a feel for it and kind of makes you an operator, and you get to make your own control of it. So what else would I tell you on this thing here? Oh, well, we talked about the operator presence. We talked about the smart sweep. So under the hood here, you'll see there is I'm going to call it a computer, but a processor so this has quite a bit more electronics on it. So you can see you've got fault lights, code lights telling you things are in operation, everything else. Everything is nice and tidy underneath the hood, but you have quite a few other components and functions in this thing to just kind of be aware of. So fuel tank, hydraulic tank is under cover here. This is lockable. Those tanks on the Bandit are not undercover, but they are lockable, both of them. Hydraulic on that side, and the fuel is over here on this side. With a gauge. Yeah, I know that sounds silly. This does not have a gauge. I have lots of people run these out of fuel. If you do that, then they finally Vermeer added a primer ball to be able to reprime this thing if you do run out of fuel. But if it runs out in the backyard and you don't have gas, it's not a fun day. Okay, well, there's a quick side-by-side comparison of these two machines. Hope that helps.